Now, people say we're live before we're live, and I can't say that we're live.
Well, surely there must be some little button, John, that
Well,
you can see.
you would think over here. You would think the bear would say something.
Okay.
I think it said it right there. But, you know, I bet we've been live for about 5 seconds. Oh, wait a minute. I got the wrong screen up. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Let's,
Ginger Snaps, Wednesday? Is that
Yeah,
the
there it
right
goes.
screen?
well, yeah, but I have you up there right now.
Oh, well, I'm
All right.
going to go high.
Proper intros now. Live from Houston, Texas. Ginger Snap Wednesday with Ginger Cook at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. You reached us. You found us. We're here. We're live. And there's Ginger.
Okay, that's an awesome introduction, John. Wow, don't you just love that? Absolutely. Someone's going to hear your voice and hire you just to
Yeah, I
just to
doubt
speak,
that.
You know
I
what I
doubt
mean?
that.
I don't think so. I thought you guys remember the poem he read from the Wishing Well. Wasn't that great? Did you guys hear that poem he read? I thought it was just beautiful. I tried reading it 4 or 5 times. I couldn't get 4 sentences out without making a mistake. I thought, oh man, you should do it. He did that in one take. Boom. Okay, so welcome to our channel. This is Ginger Cook Live, and I'm an acrylic artist. If you just happen to be strolling along through the channels and thought, who are these people? And that crazy voice. So this is me, and I'm going to be teaching
This is
some painting.
me.
This is me. Well,
This is all you get tonight. This is me. Oh, my. All right, focus here. Come on. Focus.
Focus.
Go.
All right,
We are a
so we've
professional
got-
organization.
All right, so remember last night we talked about how we could glaze something. Guys, remember that? We talked about
And we did
last
it.
night, and we did it. We talked about how you could take
Okay,
a...
you want me to go down?
You know, kind of, yeah, go down here for a second.
here we go.
down. We took a picture like this, right? Which we
There.
taught, by the way. That's our Stormy Lighthouse. And somebody had said, I've got a great comment on this today from one of our viewers who said that she loved that painting because she was having a rough day and felt like that. And I've got to tell you, John and I were having that kind of day on Monday too, and this is exactly how we felt. There's something very cathartic about painting how your emotions, how you're feeling. You got to save this picture for when you're really a little hacked off, and I'm telling you, you'll do a fantastic job. And then maybe by the next day you're feeling a little more light and love toward the world, right? You want to, gosh, this is pretty deep and dark, right? So then I showed you how to take some glazing medium and, you know, brighten it up, put the light on, right?
I love it.
You know, put the light on, little heaven shine through. And then by yesterday, we really went nuts, right? But we were feeling super better by Tuesday afternoon, evening, and we did this color. This is called Heavenly Bridge. We got back into the love and light. I mean, there's a far cry from the
Monday.
from the Monday. Well, it was a Monday, right?
Yeah, it was a Monday. It was a bad Monday.
So I got rather inspired. We're going to do a painting tonight. Before I tell you this, we're going to do some more glazing. I'm going to show you another trick on it. But I got some months ago.
Oh
somewhere,
no! Oh no!
Somewhere. No, don't start with
Okay.
me. Some months ago. God, it's been 2 or 3 years. I designed this cool painting called Golden Gate Bridge, and of course we can't find the actual original anymore. But here, luckily, I have Pinterest, and I've got a secret board on Pinterest, you know, where I keep all my files of stuff. And this is what we're going to be painting tonight. The print's not all that great, but we're going to be doing Golden Gate Bridge. And let's see, the big one, I actually did it when I was teaching, you know, for a number of years, almost 7 years for Merlota Masterpiece. Here's one we used to do with the painting party people. All right, we're going to do a little kind of more detailed version than this, but you can do it big. I want you, that's 16 by 20. This is what we're going to paint tonight, okay? But I'm also going to show you how to take, we're going to do it 8 by 10, but I just want you to know you can do it bigger. We're going to take this picture. This is another one. This was called Night Flight. You guys remember this?
Yeah.
And then I was kind of inspired, and I thought, what if you were to glaze over this and add some purples? What would happen? How cool would that be? And I did this in the computer, in a computer program, and I thought that would be really cool. Isn't that just cool as can be?
And what computer program as we go through?
It is
Painter Essential 5 by
Painter
Corel.
Essential 5 by Corel, and it was like $20 on Amazon. And
Yep.
I went in there with a watercolor brush and just glazed. Oh, I went ahead and, you know, put my photo in the computer and into Snagit, and then I took it from Snagit over there, could have taken it from photos, and I just started playing with it, you know, which is kind of cool. And so I thought this was really pretty. All right, don't you think?
I think so.
So I'm going to show you.
It'll probably be a mixed bag. Last night was a mixed bag.
Well, I mean, it's going to be, but, you know, it depends. You know what I mean? If this is sort of dark and stormy, right? And
Yeah.
so's this. You know, I mean, this is a little bit darker than that one. You know, but still, you know, paintings are all about mood. And I
Right.
promise you, if you paint a painting when you're in kind of a crummy mood, 'cause who doesn't get in a crummy mood once in a while, right? Sometimes John and I will read some comments, and no matter how marvelous everybody is with the great ones, the comments, well, a couple of them will just we feel like we've been sucker punched for the day, right? So we have to be kind of careful. They say you shouldn't read reviews, you know, it's always a problem, right? So well, I won't even, never mind. So I won't even go into a couple of comments we got that day. But anyway, so we're going to do this Golden Gate Bridge, and also I'm going to show you how to do some glazing on that picture. I thought that would be fun. So the first thing we got to do is put out some paint, and it's our standard, you know, happy array of colors of white, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, dazzling purple, yellow oxide, cad yellow medium, and magenta. Okay, I'm going to be using those colors. I'm going to show you how to do this Golden Gate bridge picture. Put enough white out here. Really a lot of fun. I've got to say that that's great fun. And John has very nicely, you can't see it, has very nicely arranged all the colors for me. Remember I mentioned that the other night that I had an apprentice that did that, and he decided that would be a nice thing to do. He arranged all the colors, which I thought was just splendidly lovely. Like that word, splendidly lovely?
Splendidly lovely. Hey, it's Maria's birthday from Down Under.
Happy birthday!
From to the Down Under.
Wow. You know, it's just so fun. I bet every day we are on this, one of our viewers' birthdays, we should just in general have a birthday party every day. Don't you think so?
Oh, yeah. We'll get a lot done then.
Well, yeah, we could just...
Hey, we would like to thank everybody that has subscribed to us, and we've reached 29,000. We're
Woohoo!
Tinko Pink.
Yeah, 29,000, you guys.
Whatever color we're doing now.
That's absolutely great. We're doing Cad Red Medium. That's absolutely great. And somebody said, are you going to have a party at 30,000? Well, we get 30,000, you know, we'll probably do something, because I think that's pretty exciting. And we couldn't do it without you. So thanks very much. And those of you who just you stumbled across going, who are these nut jobs that are up here talking, right?
Hey, we're professional painters.
Yeah, but that
House
doesn't,
painters.
that doesn't,
You know, I did house painting in
that doesn't give
college.
you a bill of mental health. That just means we paint well, right?
Well, that could be.
You gotta understand that, right? That just, but, well, no, you don't. I guess, no, of course you don't. We're fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
We're fine.
The therapist says we're fine.
We're fine. That's right. You know, that's us. You know, and you know, when I was a kid, and I was adopted. Some of you guys know that I was adopted at the age of 5, and my adopted mother, Punky. That was not Jean Dennis, the psychic. She died when I was a year old. But my adopted mother, Punky, Lucille, she was a big fan of therapists, and had gone for years. And I'm very grateful, because I'm trying to imagine what she would have been like if she hadn't seen somebody, right? So, you know, you just don't know the before. I only saw how she was, right? I don't know how she was before. But she realized that, you know, when your mom dies at a year old and you're raised by crazy people for 5 years, and, you know, that there might be some trauma involved with this kid. So she was very nice, and she did get me a therapist, his name, and I would see him once a week. My sister refused to go. And it was very nice he had a really great fish tank. I remember that. I liked this fish tank. Long way to go. Kind of wrecked a day the week, all the way down into Seattle. And but I have to say that over the years we became kind of friends. And this is Cad Yellow Light, and I wanted Cad Yellow Medium, but let's not take that out either. So we'll put both out. I mean, the thing about having cataract surgery, we said this last night, is that it's good, but it doesn't create literacy. You know what I mean? It just allows you to look at words and go, I wonder what that says, right? So anyway, let's see, we want yellow oxide. So anyway, I'm a big fan of therapy. So he really was a nice man. I really liked him, and I think that probably he was sort of a bridge between the nut bars that raised me and the real world, you know. And
he was your cush.
He gave me sort of a sense of if the world was okay, right?
Hey, Sherry would like to know what shade of phthalo blue you're using.
I always use the green shade. Liquitex came out some years ago with the red and green shades. The red shade is almost ultramarine blue. Okay.
Just knocking.
If you had the red shade, and I use red shade ultramarine blue, but the red shade on phthalo is almost that. So let's see. I have Southern Ocean Blue here, but I think we won't do it. We're going to do Burnt Umber, though, for sure.
Oh, did you find it? Was that the one that we...
No, that was raw umber, the one that we
yeah.
had. This is the structure. I want this one. This was a little better. Here's a burnt umber. So we've got these colors out. We've got a little 8x10 canvas. And here we go. We're putting these colors out all very well. And incidentally, one of our viewers wrote in on the comments. I haven't answered last night's comments, but thanks you guys for all you guys that wrote. I will answer you. You know, I'd like to answer. But somebody wrote and said that what they do is that they put their palette in a Ziploc bag to keep it. And then John had mentioned, well, what keeps the Ziploc bag from touching the paint? And I was thinking you could even take, you know, something like this and somehow fasten that down and then make it like a little tent and then put it in the bag, something like that. But I don't know. We'll have to ask her what she does about that. It was a good idea, but then what did you do? Because, you know, okay, I like a cake pan myself, and I keep threatening to go to the grocery store and get one. But maybe we should. We'll have an unbirthday party for all of us.
And an unbirthday party, I like that.
Yeah, let's have an
unbirthday party with an uncake.
No, we're going to have the cake.
But then the cake pan's going to be dirty. You're going to tell me to go down to the kitchen, clean the pan, dry it off, bring it back up so we can put our paint in it.
That's right. You're just mine like a seal trap, kid. That's what we're
it's
going
not
do.
Even rusted.
It's not. Yeah. Okay. So now here's where we go. We're gonna start an underpainting on this. All right. So what we want to do is come down about. I got a ruler. I could do this. This is 8x10 canvas. I want to come down about. I don't know. I'm just eyeballing this in. I have to put glasses on. Got to be able to see these things. 3 inches maybe. Let's just start with that. 3 inches here. 3 inches over here.
Styrofoam plates face to face in a Ziploc bag.
Oh, that's what she does. Okay, thank you. All right, so thank you. That looks really crooked to me. You know, you'd think I could use a ruler. Here we go. This says 3 and then something, and this says what? This says 3 and the something. Oh, that's close enough.
I got a Tupperware pie keeper, 10 inches diameter, 3 inches high, and use that for a palette.
Okay, I really like these gray tear-off palettes, but I have a cake thing that fits perfectly from the grocery store. I have to just go buy another one. All right, so we've got this. So we're going to divide our canvas up into a couple of sections. So the first thing we want to do is kind of roam around here and look for a brush. Here's a 1/2 inch angle brush. That'll work. And these are ruby satin silvers, and you'll see me paint most of my pictures with these. So we're going to get very bold. This is a very bright, colorful picture. We're going to take a little bit of cad yellow medium, and we're just going to come up here above this line like this on an angle. I want you to just sort of scribble in. Imagine, one of those graphs or something. Just sort of scribble in. We're going to come up here a little bit because there's going to be a hill here. Scribble up here a little bit like that. A little bit of this yellow. Now, here's the secret with this. Oh, there's a secret. Yeah, there is. Now you're going to take the yellow and you're going to go sideways with the brush strokes. You're going to change it and you're going to come down here like this. This is our underpainting. And we're going to say this is yellow. This is cad yellow medium. This is really a bright picture. Now we could tone it down. I should probably show you how we might use a mother color, but I didn't, so we didn't start that way, so we're not, but could have done that. Okay, so as we go here, this is our underpainting, all right? I'm going to come down like this, almost at a diagonal, and put that in. Now, while this is still pretty wet, let's take a little bit of cad red medium and a little bit of yellow and make sort of a bright orange color. And then right up in here like this, while it's still wet, I want to suggest some clouds that are coming this way and maybe come up like this. Ooh, that's pretty. Up like this, a little bit of orange like that. Okay, come up like that. There's a little bit of orange, not too much, don't lose too much because this is still wet. So if I take a little bit more cad red, you see I can brighten this up just a hair, but you can't really get the yellow back, so don't lose all your yellow yet. If you're going to lose it, wait till you absolutely have to lose it. All right. Now let's see. Let's just paint the edge of that. And now when you get down to this part, okay, here, what I want to do is using just the edge of this brush, a little bit of orange. Okay, we want to come this way and make little dashes and stagger the brush strokes. Don't get them too long. Certainly no longer than the brush. And let's just come through here like this. We're going to layer this, but here's a little bit of the orange. It's a little bit softer because the yellow's still wet. If we waited till the yellow was dry, what would happen is that this would be brighter, but we'll come back and add some more layers to this. This is just our first layer. Now, what we got to do here is just let this dry. Really, that's what we got to do. Just let it all dry. Okay? Okay, here's our line here like that. Okay, and then I see where I'd like to just erase a little bit right here. I think I want a little yellow back, so I'm going to take a little yellow, put a little bit, maybe some white with it, and I want a little yellow right in here, kind of right there. I want to break up that orange right here, so I can add a little white to this and do that right here. Okay, this sort of separate on the horizon line, separate this just a hair. Okay, so that's we're going to leave all this alone. So instead of drawing, what we're going to do is we're going to come over and play with these other pictures.
Well, can we ask you a question that came in through the email?
Yeah.
Marty's asking, is it a bad thing that I always pick up my painting while I'm working on it? I have a tabletop easel.
Well, there's no bad thing. It's just you maybe right or left-handed, and whatever's easy for you, and you don't know how close you've got to have it to see too.
And you got to be comfortable with how you're painting.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't know. I mean, these are fine flat, but I don't think it's a bad thing. All right, so here's our two pictures, right, like this. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Here's I've got here we've got them, right. So we're going to pick. I think we've got more white in this one, so I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to get some glazing medium out, and I'll show you how we're going to do this. All right, let's see. We put that right here. So remember, you don't shake the bottles, or either a varnish or whatever. Please don't shake bottles. They're not a good plan. You can shake white paint, in a bottle. That would be good. Shake paint, don't shake varnishes and stuff, and glazing. All right, so I'm going to put this away now. And what we want is, first off, you can see in the picture, right, like this, see in the picture? I thought it would be pretty to do the moon kind of a little bit yellow, so I'm taking a little cad yellow light and just put it up here like this with the glazing medium like that, and just glaze over that moon right there. Now already that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, that alone, I think you're done.
That's interesting. If you tried to do that with water, it wouldn't adhere, it'd be too thin. Okay? So I decided I'm glazing over, that's my moon, I've glazed that over. Now, a little bit of water there, something. Okay, so then what I need to do.
Oh, those cool little cups come from View Coffee, from the Keurig people. Karen used to drink coffee, 3 or 4 of those a day, and I started scarfing all the cups.
Huh.
They asked where they came from.
Yeah, that's good. I think it's great. I think they're awfully nice. I really quite like them. I can't imagine throwing them away. All right, so what we're going to do is dry that real quick, right?
Whoa.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Dry it?
Yeah. I turned you down to protect my ears. Okay, we got a couple things we can show you tonight. This won't be long, so I'm not going to change the screen. She'll be back in a moment. But I'm going to get them queued up, ready to go. Well, matter of fact, I am going to show you one. Marie did this, and this is the painting that Ginger's working on now.
Oh, didn't she do a great job on that? She said she's just getting her clouds down. I think she's really got her clouds down. I think that's absolutely great. I just, I like her birds. I like everything about that. I thought it was just a lovely painting, and isn't that wonderful? I just love it. When we do this and you guys send me your art and I see how well you're doing, I'm just thrilled, right? Okay, so I've did that. I've done that. Now done, right?
No, they're not K-cups. These are View.
Okay,
it's the bigger coffee.
All right, so now I'm gonna rinse the brush, wipe it off, and now we want a little magenta. Okay, I'm gonna mix it in my little cup here like that. Here's my magenta, like that. Okay.
That's a lot.
Like that. Now, what I want to do is just come over here like this. Now look what happened to my clouds. Now where I go over the blue, it turns kind of a dark purple. Do you see that? And where I go over where the white was, it's very light. I think I need a little bit more glazing. I think I got that a little thick here. You need very little pigment, just like the amount on the head of a pin. All right, so now I'm going over the clouds, and I'm painting this the same way I did my clouds, all right? like that. There you go. See, now look how cool. Let's see, I need a little more glazing medium. Let me just dump some more in there. I put too much paint in. Okay, here we go.
Now, this is very similar to what we did last night.
It's identical. It's just that we just same.
Just different colors tonight.
Different colors, all right? And we're following the brush strokes, right? And I'm coming over the whole, I'm just kind of glazing over this this magenta with glazing medium, and I can do it really thin. Now if I wanted it brighter than that, okay, now look, this is really cool because it tints everything. And if I wanted it, for instance, darker, more of a darker purple, what I would do is do more than one coat. But you see how it's staining back the lighter areas of the clouds, like that. You see that?
Jeff is asking, are some colors better to glaze with than others?
Well, I don't think I'd glaze with white. You really wouldn't want to glaze with white. You want to start with something light, and then it's got to be slightly darker than what you're going over. Now, some paints are more transparent than others, and they'll tell you that on the tube.
So the transparent ones would probably be
magenta's
better.
a little bit, it's fairly transparent. I just went into the computer. I had no idea this would even look good, and the computer was so true to what I had here. Okay? Now I have to, because it's going to make the whole painting very shiny, I've got to do the whole thing. Now, that, which is interesting, got to do the whole thing, and I might, this brush is a little small for this. I might be better off at this point to take a brush that's bigger. All right?
Well, now, speaking of that, couldn't you just varnish the whole thing if you were done, if you didn't want that color through the whole painting? When it's all dried? Or would it be a different?
I don't know.
I wouldn't either.
I really have no idea. I don't know if it would glaze then at all. I just don't know. You just have to do some strips. When you ask questions like that, just do some paint strips and see what happens.
Yeah.
Varnish some and don't varnish others. All right. Now see. Now we're just keeping going with the whole painting like that, and just
on this particular one, it looks good.
It's pretty, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's really nice. It kind of it gives it a very interesting look to it. And there we go. This is the bigger brush here. Okay. Now, if I wanted to do more than this, if I wanted it darker, I would dry it and then come along and then do another color. All right. If I wanted it deeper, for instance, down in here. For instance, here's a little magenta. If I add a little bit more color to this down in here, and I want you to see what would happen. See, I could have this a little purpler down in here if I wanted. But you're better off to do this in layers. That's what I would tell you. You're much better off to do this in layers, and then just kind of let this sit like that. But I want you to see there. Now there's that. Okay. And I think I had in the picture what I did. I did a little bit of the moon here like that. See? Just a tiny bit of that yellow. I went over that. Okay.
Chris is asking, is there any glazing that doesn't make it shiny?
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's going to make it shiny.
Yeah.
Though you could go back over it with matte medium when you were done, I suppose, but it would really dull it a bit. Okay. So here's this, and here it is in the purple. Now,
like the purple.
It's pretty. I think that this is, if you could do a really neat sort of, kind of monochromatic sky with lots of white in the clouds, and really come back and have fun with the glazing. Don't you think so? I mean, see, you see a little of this blue showing through. See some of the blues, so that pretty turquoise blue showing. And there we go. I mean, I just want you to see the difference. It's a different painting. It's a whole different feel to the painting.
Giving a whole separate mood. Different.
Yeah, it just changes everything. Now, here was the example that my computer did. I mean, it's kind of hokey when you see it. It actually looked better on the computer than it printed out. But this is what I was hoping for. This is exactly what I was hoping for. And then I thought that what would have been pretty, okay, for instance, with this, was maybe even create some stars up in here. You just got to go with me here. Some pretty stars, some white, some little dots of white stars, and maybe, glaze over those with some yellow. You can do lots of glazing, you know what I mean? You could have some interesting, then you could play with this.
Yes.
All right, but that's how it works.
So that is your Glazing 101 lesson.
Yeah. So and this happened to be Liquitex glazing medium, but someone said, "What's your favorite?" I don't had this forever.
So that's my favorite.
So I don't know if it's my favorite. It's what I got. Okay. How's that? Okay. It's what we got. So now we're going to come back here and keep carrying on with our picture. And all right, so this is dried enough. It's not perfect, but it's dried enough, I think, where we can keep going. All right, let's move our color wheel. And what I want to do next is take a little bit of the magenta and yellow.
Can you slide your palette back up on the table?
Sure.
Thanks.
You can see it, magenta and yellow, and make a bright orange. You see it's a little different orange then, right? Now I want to come up here, look at the difference, and add a little bit more of this color. A little bit of magenta and yellow. It makes a very, very interesting orange. Okay, and I'm going to come back over here like this and add a bit more of these colors. Okay, then that should be a bit brighter, and even make a little bit more magenta with it. Let's just take a little bit more magenta and less yellow. So here, there we go. Like that. We're just going to say there's some of this color here, there's some of this color here. We'll pull it down like that. All right, so and you're going, yeah, I don't know, I don't get the picture. Well, bear with me. This is fun because this is what you got to do. This is a really easy picture. I promise you, it's really easy. It's fun to do. I'm going to rinse my brush. Now I want to take some yellow and a little phthalo blue and white and more phthalo blue, and I want to make a turquoise color. See my pretty turquoise color? Phthalo blue, white, and yellow. Okay. All right, like that. Now I want to come up here like this, and let's get some more white with that. Now, just all the brush strokes are going this way in the sky. They're all going up at a diagonal. We're not doing a smooshy sky like we did last night. This was all going up at a diagonal. Okay. And you're going to come up here like this. This didn't print out. The colors really didn't print out well on this one. Hate to even look at it anymore because I've taught this painting so many times. Let's see, where did the other one go? Gonna fall down here on the floor. Good grief. Ah. Okay, I want you to see. This is their other one. See all the colors at the angle. See the colors we're going for. Let me just put this up here where I can see it. Those are the colors we're going for. All right, so let's put a little more white with that. And because we're doing a small painting, just use the edge of a little tiny angle brush like this. Okay, a little bit more white. Lighten this up down here. All the colors at an angle. See, like that. All the brush strokes at an angle. Then I want you to take this same color, come in here on some of the yellow, and go across into the water like this. This is all. This is the abstract picture of the Golden Gate Bridge. In case anybody just stumbled on here and said, "What on earth is that? Is that woman painting? What's she doing?" Right? Okay, so let's get a little bit lighter up here like this.
Chris is asking for the turquoise. Do you always use the cad yellow medium?
Well, you can use a, listen, we had Southern Ocean Blue out here. I love that color. You don't have to do anything. And then phthalo green and phthalo blue and white make a great turquoise too. So here's a little Southern Ocean Blue. Look at this color, right? So I want you to see how pretty. See, can you see? We got pretty close with that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Huh? Just with the yellow? Huh? Didn't we? I mean, you can hardly tell it, can you?
I can.
Very close. And I could make this a little bit darker here, like this, a little bit darker. Let's take a little phthalo blue now and kind of darken it up as we go up top and add some, sky. So darken it up in the corner. Maybe even a tiny bit of ultramarine blue up here. This is really an interesting place to play with your colors, all right? So there's that blue, and now let's see, let's come back into kind of more of a turquoise, and let's come up this way, put a little more yellow with it, and more white. There we go. Let's just lighten this up here like this.
Zoe's asking, what is Ginger trying to convey with a short angled stroke sky?
This is an abstract. So what we're painting is as an abstract. This is called what you'd call more of a figurative abstract. And of course, anytime that you have angles on, brush at an angle, anytime you do that, what happens, I'm going back into a little ultramarine blue here up at the top. Anytime you do that, it gives you, it's energetic. There's some energy in the piece that you wouldn't think so, but there is. There's energy. And
it gives it motion.
Yeah, there's motion and movement. Let's take a little bit of dazzling purple now. Come up on the top here, just a teeny bit. Don't get too carried away with that color. See? Now we've got a light sky. And I'm going to rinse my brush, wipe it off. Now let's come back down here with our turquoise and put some more of this turquoise color in the water. Like that. Let's just do that. Some more in here like this. And this is all about layering. And this would be beautiful with lots of texture. By the way, you could add some real nice texture to this, and like gel mediums down here in your water and so forth, and it would be stunning. Okay. Okay. So here's our blue. Now as I come into this part of our water, we're going to start changing the colors. Okay. So we come over here. Now we get into the ultramarine blue, and I'm just going to come over here with the ultramarine blue and start doing the same thing. Okay, a little bit of ultramarine blue, and going back and forth like this. This is all layered in, and so you notice I'm sort of skipping around a bit now, because ultramarine blue, come this way, that, it's a little bit darker. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you what, this is a painting, this is an easy painting to do, but it's really fun because it's got all these colors, and it really looks, let me just show you, it really looks neat big. See that? I mean, it really is pretty big. And I've taught this at, like I say, at Merlota Masterpiece. I designed this painting for them, and they used to teach it, and to people that were 3 sheets to the wind, and they managed to do it. I want you to know that, right? It just and so I've just had great confidence in you guys to be able to paint this. This is not hard, but it's really pretty when it's done. And again, you could use some texture. I'll show you a trick about some texture on this too later too, where you can add the texture afterwards. All right, which is kind of cool. All right. Now let's take a little bit of white and dazzling purple. All right. Now see. Now we're going to come in here where the white is, just white paint, dazzling purple, light purple. So. There we go.
Pam just came in late and is asking, what happened to the color under the color under the color?
Well, this is what we're doing now, because we have so many colors in this, right?
Right.
We're doing that. We're layering it on now. This is all layered in this sort of impressionistic style. All right. So this is there's a lot of different ways to paint something, and one of the things you'll get from our channel is I won't just show you. I can show you how to paint like Van Gogh, or how to paint like Renoir, or how to paint like in photorealism, or how not to. But there's a lot of different ways to paint something, and eventually, and this is just one way. Like for instance, like I showed you with that glazing. I mean, look at how that's starting to dry now. Look how neat this came out. I mean, as opposed to this. Now I like them both. I don't say this one's better than the other, but they're certainly different just by glazing. See? So that's the thing that we're kind of getting here, and that's kind of what I'm hoping to convey. But we're going to do a lot of layering. We're going to make this a little bit more complicated than we did at the painting parties. I got to promise you that. We're going to make this a little bit more complicated because we can keep layering, and we're using better paint. The painting parties, you use student grade paint, and here we're using professional acrylics, and that's a big difference in the effect we can get. So you got to bear with me here on this. And you got to trust me a little bit here. So here's a little bit of this lighter purple maybe up here now in the sky, just in a couple places. We'll just play with the color. See, that's easy, right? Like that up there. Going to play with, and then let's see, where are we going to, we have a little bit of this light purple in here, not too much, but just a little bit. Coming up this way. Okay. Start layering the colors on. Like that. Awesome. Okay, so now we just keep going with this for a little bit, and then we'll change colors again. And the thing about acrylics is because you can layer, and this is not something that most people are used to, making these little brush strokes and the direction of your brush strokes. Remember, your brush strokes, kind of say what something is. Water's generally level. Waterfalls are up and down. For instance, let me see, where can I show you? In our wishing well picture, okay? Now, just want to think about brush strokes. Now, wishing well picture, see, the water going down indicates a waterfall, all right? If we'd painted it sideways, you wouldn't have believed it. Sideways was the level water, okay? And your brush direction really is the grammar in your piece as far as what something is. I say that a lot, but it really does make a difference. Now, I'm going to put some more white with this and lighten some of this up a little bit more. We'll start to add some more color, like that, a little bit of white. Okay, not too much, but we're just going to say that because this is still wet here. All right, and I'm going to come down here and kind of fill out the corners, like that. Doing this pretty small because, again, you could do it a lot of different sizes. Then I think I'll come back over here to this, a little bit of this phthalo blue color with some white. And just, let's make that color. That's pretty. A little phthalo blue with some white, and add a bit of this color in here. You can't get it, when you start doing this and you start putting the colors in and we start playing with the complements, this gets very pretty, really nice. Okay. All right, so we've got some of these colors in here. Oh, that's neat. Okay, so now let's see, what else have we got? All right, I'm going to rinse the brush because I've been in light paint.
Can you go ahead and show us the big one again?
Yeah, here's our big one. Zoom back out.
Yep.
See? And we're going to, again, this is the kind of ones that, see, all at an angle, right? But we're going to do it a little bit more. This was a little more detailed picture here, all right? We're going to add some more water and waves than we did in this big one, all right? I really simplified it down a lot for our painting party people. And, but again, it can be as complicated as you want to make it. But we're starting off with this, okay? And I think we're going to get another color. I'm going to introduce another color. This is, sometimes when you're painting with reds, it doesn't hurt to have a lot of them. This is Cad Red Light, all right? Now, why you might want a color like that is it's very bright, okay? And you want to make sure you're putting this on with a clean brush. Now look at the difference between the color. Do you see that? So you see the difference? See how much brighter this is? Now, if I come up here like this with this Cad Red Light, come like under here where my water line is going to be, and maybe I'll come up here like this into my yellows just a little bit, like that. Maybe just, you need very little of this color. All right, just a little bit. We're going to come up like that and just brighten. These are like little bit of color pops, bits of color pops, popping the color up a little bit, coming through here like this over the yellow. All right, like that. So you're seeing less and less of this yellow as we paint it. There's a little bit of this yellow peeking underneath. Yellow is the color underneath the color underneath the color, you guys. All right, you're seeing less of this yellow. Maybe a little bit more of this red, a couple places. Okay. Okay, like that. Now with acrylics, if we have to put something back, we can. So while we're waiting for this to dry, I'm going to take some dazzling purple and burnt umber and maybe a little ultramarine blue, make a dark color, and we're going to come up here like this and create our hill. This is the San Francisco side of where the Golden Gate Bridge is. Okay, this is the San Francisco side hill.
Chris is asking, do you have another suggestion if you don't have Cad Red Light? Naphtha Crimson and yellow would be good too. Red, yellow, make a bright orange. You're looking for a bright orange. Okay. Now on this side, remember this is our horizon line, so we're going to come in here like this. This is our horizon line, and I want to come up a little bit higher here with this hill here like that. Okay. And then over here, this is very small. This is Oakland over here. It's just over here all by itself, like that. There's Oakland, and it doesn't come very far. It comes about
No further than 3 inches. All right, like just about like what I had it. No further than 3 inches, which is 4 fingers. All right, good to know, right? I mean, well, how would you know otherwise if I didn't tell you that? There you go. We're gonna say that that's the that's Oakland, and this is San Francisco. Wow, how would you have not known that? Okay, there. So, okay, and look. Okay, so as long as I'm doing that and I'm in these dark colors, now I want to come up here and I'm going to put some rocks in. I'm going to say that right here I'm going to got this big craggy rock here. It's not comes out a little bit further and down about a finger, and here's my first rock, and I'm going to put another one underneath it, and we're going to talk about rocks for a minute. This I like my thing about rocks. Okay, talk about rocks. Here's a rock, and maybe one coming out into here like this. Tide is coming in and out, very rocky place. Okay, tide's coming in and out, and these rocks sort of balance. Let's come over here, kind of about split the difference between these two. Come in and make another rock. Okay. Here's this rock, a little bit of purple burnt umber. And maybe I've got a small rock here. Okay. And how about 3 along here like that? There you go. Here's a rock, and then here's a big shaped rock like this, more on an angle. Let's change the shape of this rock. I'm getting them to like little humps. Okay. Then here, this will make a funny little rock in here. Like that. This is a bigger rock. Okay, so there's our rocks. Okay. All right. Now, what do we need to know about rocks besides the fact they're kind of neat? And it's neat. You know, they're neat. They're great in landscaping. You know, good to know. They're nice in pictures. I'm going to come up here and make this Oakland a little bit bigger, but it's not that much bigger, you guys. There's not much to Oakland over here. It's pretty flat in the picture. Okay, so now I'm going to get out my chalkboard while this is drawing and show you what we know about rocks. Okay, so, all right, so here's your ocean. Okay, here's some land. All right, here's some land, here's the ocean, Maybe here's our horizon line like this, okay? And I'm going to say that I've got a rock here. Well, what happened to that rock? The water's coming around it like this, but this rock went all the way down to the ocean floor. This is my ocean floor down here that you don't see, all right? And then maybe some of the rock showed up like this. Here's water, but it comes all the way down. And then maybe I've got a rock that came up here, okay? My water, okay? This is all water here, okay? I want you to get a sense of it. Now, where did my rock go? So the thing to remember, the reason I'm pointing this out is that the water, just like if you put a rock in a bottle of water like this, if you dropped a rock up here, the water's always level around the rock, all right? So when you're painting this, your rock is sticking up like this, and maybe you've got another piece that's sticking up here like this, okay? But this part here, maybe I can just use some green chalk or something. This part here, this water part, is always level around the rock, okay? That has to be level. I can't stress that enough, okay? And if you have the number one, there's a bunch of rules. Let's just go over the rules. Wherever there's a light, there's a dark. And your eye will go to the lightest light and the darkest dark first. But also you need some contrast. So if I've got a big black rock, then I better have something a little bit lighter behind it or you won't see it. Does that make sense? Okay? I better have something, some way so you can see my rock, all right? So here's my ocean, and then here's my rock sticking up. But they really, in real life, are coming, you don't see it, but they're attached to the bottom of the ocean somewhere. This is just the part that's sticking up. And if this was a tide, which it is, maybe it's more shallow than that, but still, they're sitting on something. They're not floating there.
They're not floating rocks?
They're not floating.
Huh.
You know, what was that movie where the rocks floated?
Oh, you got me on that one.
No, it was a science fiction movie when all the rocks were floating and they were on floating rocks or something, islands and stuff up in the sky. These don't float. They're all
Star
attached.
Wars.
Yeah. All right, so you see what I'm talking about. So you want to keep all this flat. Oh, you're saying, that's cool. Didn't know that, right? So now that I know, yeah, and it's a nighttime scene, so we don't have to have a lot of detail in the rocks. or we might at other times. But one thing we could do is take a little Cad Red medium, okay, and just tap on in here like this, up here on this rock, and then I'll put a little purple over it. Just let some of that red kind of up here show through a little bit, just a teeny bit. Maybe on this one too, a little bit of the red showing through. Okay. There we go. Just not too much, but we're going to just give it a little bit of red where it might be catching some sunset. But really, you're not catching much of anything. All right. Okay, so there's our picture. Now, I have to dry this, and everything has to dry. Even at the painting parties, they make you just go walk around, talk to your friends for a while
and drink
while this dries, right? And I'm going to take a hairdryer. John's going to show you some stuff, okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
I'm going to come back here and start adding some more to the sky before I dry it.
You might say, when am I going to show them?
Okay, let's break this up here. I don't want this too static. Okay, like this. And maybe I'll poke a little hole in this, right like this. Okay, there you go. The different blues in this are really pretty. And if you've got some different blues, then come back down here and put them in your water. Whenever you do something like that, come back and stick them somewhere. Here's a little bit of light coming around this rock here. See this? Remember I told you about the water? Okay, that it would be kind of pooling around. It can zigzag around your rocks, but at some point it's sort of pooling like that. Okay, so I'll dry that.
Wait, would you like to answer a question for a little bit of time?
Sure.
Rose is asking, what is Liquitex pouring medium used for?
I actually have a video on YouTube on what you do with that.
It's like putting a sheet of glass over.
Look that up on my YouTube channel. I'll show it to you. It's really pretty. I've got I did a whole video on that, and I use it the way nobody uses it. It's not meant for that, but that's what I use it for. But you know, generally it's done in abstracts. It's meant for abstracts. I've got a whole video on how to use pouring medium.
Okay? You didn't miss it, right there on YouTube.
Yeah, it's right there on YouTube. It's free. You should watch it. It's fun. I had a blast doing that. I'm telling you what. It's just. It really is similar to Jackson Pollock when he just started throwing paint off the roof. It's that sort of freedom going, whee, whee. Right?
And everybody oohs and ahs over, oh, this is marvelous, this is great, and give you $1,000 for it.
Oh, yeah, Pollock got about millions of dollars. But anyway, we're going to dry this.
All right, drying. All right, up next we have from Beth. She did a village scene. Kind of like how that came out. I like the shadow on the door. See how that came through? That's kind of cool. And this is the first wishing well we've gotten back from a person named Lori. And she normally has been an oil painter, and this is her first attempt at acrylics. And for a first attempt at acrylics, it looks pretty good. I'd like to know what paint she was using. My guess is going to be one of the slow drying ones, or she was used a retarder or something. Because you've got good blending and smoothing in there, just like an oil paint. So, and Miss Ginger's back with us.
Isn't that great? Don't you love that? I love how she did the wishing well. I think that's really pretty. I just can't wait to see you guys and your wishing wells and what you're doing. I hope she frames that one. Imagine, never painted with acrylics before and came up with that. So I think that's pretty neat. And also, John, did you tell them that because the way YouTube does their rentals, that you can't use an iPad or an iPhone to rent something on YouTube, but you can go over to our website and we can do it on Vimeo. And also, YouTube only takes like about a handful of the money from different countries, but Vimeo seems to take everybody and figures it out. So if you're having trouble renting the wishing well, pop over to our website, gingercooklive.gallery, go to the wishing well picture, this one right here, go to that picture on the front page, and it'll take you right to Vimeo. And
it'll take you to a page where you can choose YouTube
where
or
you
Vimeo.
Can choose, you can choose, to rent it, and it'll show you the preview and all that. All right, so now this is dry enough where we're going to keep going. All right, so everybody's with me. I'm going to take a little bit of chalk here, and I'm going to, here's some white chalk. I want to suggest that there might be something coming this way. It's a little bit of white now. I'm going to just take a little bit of white paint now on my angle brush and just come along here like this, and just see how I'm kind of floating down a little bit here. A little bit of white. It's got a little blue with it, like this. I'm going to just suggest that there might be a little bit of a tide coming here like that. Okay, and then I'll pinch it, and then take a little bit of yellow and white behind it. And maybe you can put a little yellow back. I promise you, people think you can't with acrylics. You can put a little yellow back if you lost it. You can come back up here in the sky, maybe even a little yellow oxide here, and you can start adding some colors to your sky so that the yellow isn't just so bright in your face everywhere. So that there you go. And let's put a little something behind there like that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the darker blue and come back. Let's see, how about a little of this turquoise color? That's pretty. A little bit of yellow with it, a little bit of turquoise. Come back behind here like this, where we did that little bit of white. It suggests, maybe a little bit of a tide coming in right there. And I'm going to pinch this off now like this. And I'm going to add some more white coming around our rocks like this. Okay, and let me just rinse the brush because I've got a lot of blue on it. So I want to just do pure white at this point. Let's see, is that titanium? Should be, but let's just put some clean out right there. Okay. And here, all right, so what I want to do is come around my rocks like this and sort of add a little bit of white, just not too much, but there we go, like that. Okay, and then say here's some white coming this way, and let's make this a little bit brighter now. Okay, so you're starting to see where this is going to start to show up a little bit. And I don't think I want it that bright down in front, so I'll add a little blue to it. But again, you can see where we're just kind of zigzagging around our rocks now. Now this is all about layers, okay? And I want a little bit lighter behind these rocks because I want them to show up. So I can do a little light purple. I don't have to do blue. I could do a little light purple, okay? But I want the rocks to show up. All right, that one shows up. I don't know if I want any yellow behind that rock, so I might just kind of take that yellow out right there. There we go, like that, kind of erase that yellow. There you go. So all right, so we've got sort of the yellow over here, and then we've got this going here, and all these little brush strokes in layers of paint. This is a good painting to try for impressionistic painting because there's so many little fun little layers. Okay, and then I think this is, did we dry this? Pretty much. Let's take a little bit of white and orange and make sort of a tangerine color. Kind of a, look at that. See, that's sort of pretty. Now, let's just pull a little of this color on here like this. Okay. A little bit of a tangerine, and can we put any of that color in our water? Maybe in a couple places. Don't lose all your yellow, but wherever you're putting it up in the sky. Okay. Now, why does this look kind of good? And I'm just going to smoke some up this way. Maybe a little bit brighter orange with that too, coming on top there like this. Why does this look kind of good? Because turquoise and orange are opposite each other on the color wheel. They're complements, see? Turquoise and orange. And so when you put them together, they look really good, all right? And let's try a little magenta now and a white. Here's a tiny bit of pink, and we can even add some of that to the sky, which I couldn't have done at a painting party, and the reason being is that we didn't have any. We didn't have these colors, so you couldn't do them, okay? But maybe I want a little bit of that color in here too, coming back this way, just a hair. So you can really doll this up, okay, like that. And then maybe I'll take a little bit of that color and add a bit into the blues because that's pretty with the purples. Okay, so I'm coming across in here like that, adding a bit of this sort of pink color, all layered. Neat, huh? And let's see, let's take a little bit of dark, and let's see, little tiny bit of dark purple. Okay. All right, now let's just come under our just purple now. Okay, let's come under this mountain right here. This is San Francisco. Maybe add some dark here. Indicate there's a little dark down here. A little bit of a dark shadow underneath here, like that. Okay, back over here in the corner. All right, so we've added, you can see we keep adding colors. Now in order to put in the bridge, we're going to do that pretty quick. We're going to put the bridge in, which I think is kind of fun, to put the bridge in. I want a little bit more, let's see, more white. I want some more, a little bit of yellow with it. I want some more turquoise color. And I want to put that next to I want to put that into the orange to really give it some pop. And then wherever there's a little bit of orange, I want to make sure I have a little bit of turquoise next to it. There, that's pretty. And then maybe down in here, even down in here. Okay, so I put the bridge in, and I've kind of toned down the yellow back here behind the mountain. All right, and the same thing over here. Let's tone this down a little bit. Okay, like that. Now, when we put the bridge in, it'll look pretty spectacular. Okay, so I've got to dry one more time. Can I answer anything before I dry, John?
Someone asked, and it scrolled past me before I could see it, could you show us how to do a bad rock?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Not on that painting, though, are you?
But there are such things as bad rocks.
No. People have bad rocks?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, that's not good.
So, bad rock.
Bad rock. There's a whole bunch of bad rocks. Those are cartoon rocks.
You want to be able to, if you're climbing on the rocks, it should hurt. If you should be able to skin your knee, and you should go, ouch. So,
yeah,
it's got to be
jaggedies.
Jaggedies, and
To
maybe
really cut into your feet.
Maybe one rock is coming in front of another like this, with a little inlet, right? Okay, something like that. You know? Yeah, so it's very possible. Well, it's really easy to do bad rock, absolutely. All right, let me dry this, and we're going to get going with this. This will be fun.
All right, turning down. Let's see if I got anybody else in the queue to show you. Oh, Gail. Gail has given us the old barn that Ginger never finished. I think that came out pretty good, and I think it's done myself. Gail came up with that one for us, and that's the last one I've got for tonight. Again, the wishing well is available for rent. It's a 72-hour rental. Once you sign up, if you sign up on YouTube, you have 30 days to start your 72 hours, but the 72 hours are consecutive. So you got to make sure you do that all together. Vimeo, I'm not sure how their rental works. It's new to us. I think once you buy it and once you start playing it, you have 72 hours once you start. And Ginger is back.
All right, we're going to erase some stuff here. The chalkboard, and we're going to talk about the Golden Gate Bridge, how we're going to put it in. Now, I don't have a very sharp pencil, do I? You found the pencil, but did you sharpen it for me? No.
No. Did you want me to?
Well, how fast can you do it?
Well, how fast do you want it?
Well, yesterday.
Do you remember the initial, the Gail that did that one picture?
I'm going to put this here. Didn't that come out nice with the glaze? Let me just get that out of the way. Where'd you put it?
It's in my hand.
Ah. Okay, so look, I just wanted to say how cool that looks. I just love this purple glaze stuff. Okay, you can tell. All right, so here's what we're going to do with the Golden Gate Bridge, you guys. So here's Oakland. Oh, this is San Francisco, right? And then over here is Oakland. All right, you with me? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. You sharpened it. Awesome. Okay, so here's that. Now what happens is that it's got two poles like a ladder that are here, okay? And then there's a here's your bridge going straight across here to Oakland. Okay, like that. And it goes off the picture. That's your bridge, all right? And then there's these two poles that they're up higher than here. Let's just get these up higher. Like there. There's these two poles, and then this is the end of the picture, okay? And then here you've got a wire that's coming down here like this and like this, only thinner, okay? There's a wire. Now, over on the Oakland side, meanwhile, back at the ranch, here's Oakland, right? Back over here, okay? You've got two shorter poles, all right? There's two shorter poles. Oakland stops right there somewhere, okay? You've got two shorter poles, okay? I mean, almost half the size. And then a little bit taller, but not by much. And then you've got a long wire that does this and loops and then does this and does this to these guys, all right? And then goes off to Oakland, okay? And then you've got little up and down things, and they get closer together as they get farther away. Little up and down guide wires, I guess, to keep things from falling down like this, okay? All right, that's your bridge. And then we're going to put the bridge, we're going to put some cars on the bridge. We'll show you how to do that. But there's, our bridge is a little bit wider like that. So that's how we're putting in the bridge, okay? And in fact, when I look at this, it actually almost touches. I don't have it anymore, but I actually had a photograph of this. I mean, I didn't make this up. This was actually kind of in a photograph of how the bridge was. All right. So then these wires go off, and it's at night, so we're getting away with a lot. Okay. So that's why I thought you'd have no trouble doing it. So we're going to take our probably a straight edge here, a ruler, and I think I want my bridge here, like that. See this. Let's measure this down. Okay, that's about 3 inches. About 3 inches. Okay, and I'll just line that up like that and say there's my bridge going this way. Okay, there's my that's my bridge, and then out here in the water a little bit is my 2 tall poles, and I want them a little bit higher than my cliffs here, like that. There's my 2 tall, like a ladder, okay? And then here I've got some shorter ones, okay? And what we need, and now here's the deal. That's why I got this other cup. What we need is, I'm going to use black. Now, you've got a couple choices. You can use some, what did I have? I forget. I had this black gesso I could use, and then I had some flow, some black flow somewhere. I thought, oh, don't tell me I got that in paint. Hang on a second. Yeah, I did, but I'll fix it. Wow, that's a hot mess. All right, there you go, the back of this. Okay, so let's see, what did I do with that other stuff? I had it out for something. What was it? No, I guess I didn't. All right, we're using this. You can use some flow paint, you could use some black, you can use some purple and ultramarine blue and add a little water to it. I'm going to do a little flow. It's a little bit easier. It's a little bit of black gesso, which I want. You could also use a pen, an ultra fine pen, but you can't erase the pen. You can make sure this is dry because you can then erase it if you don't like it. And we're going to take a very fine, skinny brush.
And this is one of those rare times you will see her use.
Yeah, rarely ever use black, but now we're going to use it, right? We're going to just test it out on here. How's my black paint going? Is that pen going to do it for me? Let me put my glasses on. That's important, okay? So now I'm going to just, right here like this, I'm going to just pull this down toward me, being very careful. Okay, and that's why I'm putting a little bit in the cup. Okay, and then I want to say that this is the bridge. This is our bridge.
The chalkboard she uses was just bought as a chalkboard. It's not a canvas. We just got that at Amazon. Didn't you get that at Amazon?
What, that chalkboard? That cheap, crummy little chalkboard? Yeah.
It's a cheap, chummy little
chalkboard. I would tell you about it, but I don't feel like they deserve you.
How's that?
They don't deserve you.
They don't deserve you guys. You're better than
You're
that
better
chalkboard.
than that one.
You're better than that chalkboard. I mean, if I tell you about something, I got to kind of be behind it a little bit, right? Okay, so now I'm going to say that that's these little up and down ones right here, like that. And there you go. All right, now this one. Now, if you need to, what you can do so that, you know, and I would suggest you do it so that you don't smear your black. You know, this one's a little bit wider here, and it's a little bit hard to draw over chalk, but there you go. Like, I'm going to dry that black line, so then I can, you know, right with me? I'm going to draw the black line.
In regards to the up and down lines, yes, they are parallel. Parallel to your edges, unless you want your bridge tipping one way or the other. They'll be parallel.
We good? Yeah, I'm just drawing it. All right, so then if you want to, for instance, you could even take a ruler if you weren't sure about getting something straight up and down. If you're having trouble.
And those lines are parallel to your sides, right?
Yeah, these are parallel to the top and bottom of my canvas, like that. There's my straight line like this. Like that into the water. See, like that. If you were having trouble, you can do it, and then you wipe it off, and then you could do it again. Okay, and again, you could do this with a pen, too. And also, gosh, you know, they make a black acrylic ink. It works just like your fountain pens, and it's opaque, and I mean, you could come back in here with a pen and do this, too. You wouldn't have to do it with a brush, but we're just trying to keep this easy, right? Nothing too crazy today. Nothing too crazy. We've had a crazy day, but nothing too crazy today. All right, so there we go. So there's that. Okay, so there's my 2 lines like that. Looks pretty good, right? Now I'm going to just come across here like this with my ladder. Like that, coming across on both sides. Little tiny brush strokes, just indicating this is impressionism. We're not really true. This is impressionism, so you get away with a little bit, right? Here's your bridge. It's okay. Now, what happened to this line? Put a dot from here to Oakland, or to San Francisco, right? So put a dot so that when you put your line in, like that, okay, when you connect it, okay, so you're going to connect both of them here like that. You're going to just come straight up in here with the brush. Harder you push, the fatter the line, so try not to push too hard. And then I want it to really curve down under here like this. It really dips down under here like this and does that. See that? And it dips under here like this one. Dips under here like this. Like, there you go, like that. There it dips. And then it just sort of goes off this way. We don't know where. Just gone. Bye. There it is. Okay, so that's what you're going to see of the bridge. Now I might make my bridge just a little wider now that I've had a chance to see this. Just a little bit wider here like that. Okay. All right, there's the bridge. So far so good, yeah?
And now, what brush are you using?
I'm just using a little, this is a bright brush. It's a little Ruby Satin Silver number 2 bright brush. So it's squared off bright brush. And again, this is the kind of thing where if you're going to go straight down, you could either dry it and use a ruler, or you can just very gently indicate some vertical lines here. They don't even have to connect. You know, you can indicate, just don't even have to make one continuous vertical line. The eye will connect them for you. You're just suggesting. It's kind of like when we did the angel with the harp. You know, you don't have to put every string in. Okay, and as you get down toward Oakland, the lines get closer together. I'm barely touching it. Look at that. See? Isn't that cool? And again, you can, okay, so this is this, and this is this, and okay, and I'm just going to suggest maybe there's some shadows in the water here like this. Maybe there's a little shadow under here where Oakland is. In here like that, but we're going to say that there you go. All right, so now, okay, so far so good, right? We're not going to see any of that because this is this. Now, what you got to do, okay, so there's our bridge. Now we're going to put some we're going to put some cars on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so how we're going to do that is, it's pretty dry, right? So I might take a little cad yellow medium, or you could choose some light color, and you can just use the back of your brush like this. Do some yellow dots like this. Okay? And just like this, on top of that bridge, right like that. Clear to Oakland, barely touch it, little tiny yellow dots.
This is your original design, right? That was
this is my original design. Okay, that's too much, too wide. There you go.
Steffi would like to know, does Ginger have a stretch canvas brand that she recommends?
I don't. Because the thing is, the problem is that the canvases I really like are pretty expensive. Okay, I got that a little bit too
big.
Too big, so I'll just erase some of it. You know where the black paint is. It's easy enough to turn out a few lights if you got too crazy, right, with the lights. Okay,
So there's that's the lights on here, and here's to make sure that the bridge connects to Oakland. I mean to San Francisco. Okay, so there's San Francisco. There's this. All right. Now what we're going to do is take a little of the burnt umber, and I want to come up a little bit above the bridge here, just a little bit on this side. Just add a little bit more of Oakland, just a tiny bit right there, just a little bit. Okay, now I need to do a big splash here and some water and everything, all right? So in order for me to be happily doing that, what we've got to do is dry it, okay?
Uh-oh, I lost my zoomie.
Did you lose our zoomie?
I lost my zoomie.
All right, so that means there isn't a lot to this, but I think it's kind of fun, don't you think so? This is sort of a fun thing to do. And we're gonna dry it and put our splash and put our whites, okay? Ready?
Yeah, turn you down. You know where your big picture is of this? Show that they were asking to see that again. Put it down on your feet. Where did it go? Let me bring you back up. You're back up.
All right, so there, you can kind of see from a distance. See, there's the big picture of this. See it? Okay. All right, see how we've got, we want to make sure that you've got some yellow under here, all right? All right, that's important. And I may want, I'll tell you what, wherever there's a light, there's a dark. You remember that rule that I just told you? So, and your eye goes, so we might put a little yellow behind, put some yellow back, sky back. You can do that with the acrylic. See, let's just put a little bit of yellow back above Oakland so it shows up a little more. So if you got a little crazy with your paints, you can come back and you can add more to your sky like that if you felt you need to, or don't leave it to be there. If you got too crazy with the orange, you can come back and add some yellow into your water too, add some reflections like that. So you're not locked into anything, and I think I need a little bit of orange right next to here. I need to make this a little skinnier where Oakland is, just a little bit, maybe like that. So all right, so those are some of the things you can do, and I think I'd like a little bit of orange up here like that, maybe with a little bit of white in it, maybe. There you go. Just up here like this. I think I'd like this a little bit lighter right up in here. Kind of on the corner. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. You can play a little bit with this, absolutely, and you can sit there, but right here is where we need a splash. So we're going to come back to a smaller brush here. I use a lot of these ruby satin silvers. I really like these angle ones, and this is a clean dry one. Now what I want to do now is take some white paint, and I want to say that there's this the water's hitting this rock here like this. I'm going to just tap some white around the rock, okay, like this, and then I'm going to just wiggle and lift up. And we're kind of covering up some of our bridge here. That's why I wasn't too worried about how it hit the water. And then around this rock like this, okay, like this, around this one, and it's coming down this way, and this is our big splash, okay, like that. A big splash. And then what we want to say is that we've got some water coming this way, kind of another little tide thing coming out here like this. We're just doing some white here, and it's coming around this rock like this, like that, see? And let's bring some out here a little bit. I think we started with this. We'll bring a little tide out that way. And then what about over here? Let's bring a little bit of water. Now we're just back this way around our rock. Okay, now we're starting to zigzag some white in here, particularly around these little rocks like this. Okay, so starting to get kind of cute, right? And how about down in here too? Maybe a little bit down in here. A little bit of white down in here like this, a little bit of foam. And I'm going to bring this splash. It doesn't matter how big a splash you make it. Okay? And then I'm going to take a little yellow oxide and I'm going to do a highlight, kind of like in a little bit of, I want a little orange highlight on the top of this rock, maybe a little bit more orange on the top of this rock like this. Okay, I'm going to say that this, we're going to say that this rock has some color to it. Not, they all don't, but that maybe these two do, right, from the sun. This is back in the shade. Okay, so there's a little bit, a tiny bit of a highlight there. Okay, all right, on here. And maybe we want to bring a little bit of this orange up this way. Okay, so you can play with this a little bit, and then back here, where the water's coming in, I want a little dark line here. I want this to be a little darker so that there's like a little shadow where the water is, like that, coming this way, like that. So we're just doing a little bit more current here. Okay, remember, still an abstract. Okay, now when the water's splashing like this, now here's the thing, when your water's splashing, it's going to have, the water's going to come over the top of this and run down in like little rivulets. And you look at, I'm using just the angle of this. Look at this big brush, and I'm able to create, this water like that, just using the corner. Like that, there it is, and just running over this like this, over this rock. Okay, I'm just burying it right there. Okay, like that. So there's water coming that way, and maybe we'll bring some this way, like that with a thin line. Okay, and where else could we put some? Well, I think it definitely could be falling this way. Probably could have dried that to yellow, and wouldn't have been a bad idea too. But you could, if you're careful, you can do it. So there's our water running, okay, and then maybe I'll bring some more of this way, kind of zigzagging around my rocks so they show up. Maybe I've got something, maybe the tide's already been in here and it's running over these rocks right like this. It's already been here and it's receding. You know how it does. I have a poem from when I was a kid, John. Two little waves came rushing to the shore. One died with a yawn, the other with a roar. Don't you like that?
Oh, that's a classic.
That's classic, isn't it? Classic.
That's a classic.
This is what your parents spend good money at summer camp for their kids to learn. Okay. So I'm just going to say we got some water coming this way on these rocks. Okay, like that. And there's our splash, like this, and lift up. Take it and lift up. Let's just bring that up like this over there. There. Okay. It's hitting that rock and it's pounding the shore. And there, let's just bring this out a little bit like that. Okay, so there, I think we're pretty good here. I think I want to darken the corners. Never hurts to just add a little purple and darken the corners and darken it kind of on this inside like this, so that it kind of brings your eye in. That's never a bad plan. The bottom of it. Maybe a little bit of ultramarine blue down here.
Sissy's asking, what's the difference between the phthalo blue, which I can't find, and that other one, that funny name that you told me the other day, phthalo, cyan, the green shade. One's green and...
Yeah, one's green, one's blue. Phthalo blue is a PHTHALO. They call it thylocane. The whole word is thylocane, all right? So you may think you can't find it. And I think in this picture, we went back here with a little orange, and we suggested just a few little highlights on this, where there might be some. There's people who live on this hill, right? Okay. So we just suggested somebody's on here like that. Okay, maybe a little light here. Okay. All right.
It's looking pretty classy.
That's our picture. And if I came down here and looked at this, I might want to come back with maybe a little magenta and yellow, maybe a little orange. Come back here, brighten some of this up, and then here's some bright red. Now this is where this painting can get really pretty, is that you can add some brighter colors a couple places. I want to go back over where my bridge is, but you can add a few little bright colors like that, maybe we want a little bit of orange in this water back over here, just a little bit, right? Here's a little bit of orange right here. Maybe on the top of this rock here, there's a little bit oranger here, like there. All right, I would say that we're pretty close to finished with this. That's our picture, and that's our sky, and I think that's kind of a cool thing, you know. And I think I want to bring some yellow up this way. Come back if you need to. I mean, don't be afraid to come back and add some color. Don't be afraid to come back and add some turquoise. If you lost all your turquoise, remember anytime you put turquoise next to orange, this is a good thing, okay? And you want different shades of this, lights and darks, different light values of this. This is very nice. This is a very pretty painting when it's got all these blues in it. Okay? Like that. There we go. I think that's pretty neat. Okay, we're coming out this way like that. So, all right, I would say sign this and be happy for the people that are living in Oakland and San Francisco. It sounds kind of fun, right? This was what we did with this. And, you know, we needed look at all the beautiful colors on this palette. Aren't they gorgeous? You know, and that's when we ended up putting them in here. I think that's really, I think they're beautiful. I want to darken the sky up here a little bit. Come down. If you do it larger, now look, here's the bigger one. Where did we put that? You got a lot more room to put sky when you put the bigger one, all right? See what I mean? When you do a bigger one, you do this really large. But this is the small version of, you know, how you might put this in and do it, you know, absolutely. Here's some darker blue in here. Might even add a little red to that. And darken that up just a hair.
Is there a picture of this?
No, there's no photograph of this, sorry.
Nope. What's Ginger's favorite city?
Oh, favorite city.
In the whole world, U.S.?
Yeah, that's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of
Can
cities.
I tell you it isn't Houston? Did I mention that? It's not Texas, right? You know, I grew up in Seattle, and at the time I thought I'd been ripped off. As a child, I thought that the universe had ripped me off. I would watch The Lone Ranger and Tonto and all those westerns. You know, every Saturday morning there were westerns on for kids, right? There was cartoons and then all these western movies. There used to be a ton of those. You don't see those anymore, but and I'd look around at all this greenery and pine trees and lakes and stuff, which of course is gorgeous, and think, oh man, why am I looking at this stuff? I want to be where those guys are. I want to play cowboys and Indians in the desert, wherever that was. Really, it was filmed in Death Valley and, you know, out there in Southern California on the desert. But I thought that was so cool. And years later, I got to ride my horses out there. We did competitive trail riding, and I've ridden all over those hills, and, you know, was Grand National Champion and President's Cup winner with my horse in competitive trail riding, and, you know, so I did all that. But at the time, I remember. But I really think about Seattle. It's gorgeous, and Vancouver is beautiful, and I'd love to live in Victoria. Or, you know, up in there, Victoria, which is on an island.
Hey, anybody from Canada in the Vancouver, Victoria area, usually contact us, and we'd like to chat with you.
Yeah, I'd like to introduce John. You talk about favorite cities, and you know another really cool city. My allergies really don't permit it, but it's Taos, New Mexico. I love that place. My body just sort of falls apart there in the summer. I get some really the worst allergies I've ever had with hay fever were there for me, but I think it's just beautiful. So this was kind of cool, you guys. I hope you had fun doing this. I hope this was really good fun, and I want you to see this now that it's dry. All right, you see that? You see, this has had a chance to dry, and just for the fun of it, I want you to see what would happen if we did a second coat. All right, as long as we're talking about it, because this is still wet. Now look, if I wanted this darker here, this is the trick. If you wanted it darker, like in certain areas of your clouds, you wanted a deeper purple, you don't use more paint. You just go over it again, all right? I can't emphasize that enough. You let it dry, and you just, wherever you think you might want it a little darker, if you did, maybe I'd, want some Cad Red Medium with this, change the color, all right? I'm saying if you wanted it different. Now that's the whole trick. If you wanted it different, I'll show you what happened if we added some other colors here. Now look what happens if I put that cad red medium on over here. Changed it again, didn't I? I mean, I'm just saying, I changed the whole look by just adding a little bit of cad red. And if you didn't like it because you let it dry, you could then take it off. Do you see what I mean? Because you've let it, you could just wipe it off because you've let it dry. And this is what I'm saying. When you're glazing, if you start slow. See what happens. See what kind of makes you happy as an artist. Then dry it and then do your next layer. You can glaze and you can glaze and you can glaze. Like for instance, remember I wanted a little bit more purple over that. See, but there it is. I still think we need little sparkly things here, but that's all right. You know what I mean? Just little cloudsy things. Like little stars and things. I think would be really cool in this. Maybe if I do that, I'll show it to you later. But anyway, that's our picture. This is our picture tonight. So Golden Gate Bridge, kind of an abstract. This is what you'd call a figurative abstract.
Oh, Kathy is from Victoria. Use the contact us form on gingercooklive.gallery if you would.
Thank you.
Just say hello, and we will communicate with you if we could.
I want a little waterfall right here. See?
Well,
now I got my little brush. I might put a little waterfall there and do a little bit of white.
What is with you and waterfalls this week?
I like waterfalls. Don't you guys like waterfalls? Who can't? You're not saying waterfalls aren't a good thing, are you?
Oh, I would never say that.
Oh, good.
Especially in your presence.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there you go. See? I mean, here's a little detail brush. You can come around here and do something, but
Is the glaze gloss? Yes, the glaze is a glossy.
Glaze is glossy. Definitely glossy. I've never seen a matte glaze. It's always glossy because glossy tends to be clear, and matte has like a white film on it where you kind of lose it on the glossy. And let's see. What I'm just looking at this picture, going, is there anything else I could do under here like this? Here's my water coming.
Gail would like
like
to know: has Ginger ever been to Yosemite?
No,
We're not talking about
I've
Yosemite.
been to Bryce Canyon and the Grand Canyon. I have not been to Yosemite. And you see, every time I'm dragging water around here, I should just sign this and stop.
Oh, Sue
right?
got her free black free.
Stairs? Did you bring it? Was on the
That would
stairs?
be no. That's not even.
We were going to show you guys. We got our brand new. Now this is real important because remember we got the bad jar of the white, which was a free gift, and then complained because it's not good. Didn't your mother tell you not to look a gift horse in the mouth?
Oh, look, we're finally crashing the system.
Are we? All right.
Yep.
Well, then say good night, John.
Say good night, John. I don't know.
And listen, if you haven't subscribed, you guys, we'd love it if you did.
If you would.
If you would subscribe.
Hey, we'd love it if you can hear what we're saying now, because apparently we're not feeding it enough. That's what it's telling me. Dang, more buffering. You're telling me. All right. Well, if you can see us or hear us, bye, everyone. That's all, folks. Daffy Duck or somebody. I think it's Daffy Duck.
That's all, folks. Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah, that was Daffy Duck.
Daffy Duck.
All right.
That's showing our age.
Night, Sammy.
Night, Sammy. Night, John. Night,
Sammy will be back next week. He's been working.